Hi guys, so I am returning this monster of crafting. I have tried. I will tell you why I made my choice. Obviously for different people it's going to be a different experience, and if you enjoy the Cricut joy, well, that's awesome. But she has been less than joyful for me, so we'll talk about kind of how I got to my decision. I think you guys have probably seen in my videos, if they're reviews, tutorials, experiments, kind of how I got here. But thank you guys so much, everyone who has tried to help out or say maybe you want to do this or some kind of comment. That's helpful, constructive. I really appreciate it. So I was leaning towards keeping it because I was like, well, it's small. She fits right here. You know, it's been okay. If I just want to make basic cuts, maybe, because I do have a lot of cartridges and, you know, I never use them because I don't bring out my machines that are in this closet behind me here. And so it worked okay, right? The first few tutorials, I'm like, all right, let's do some cuts. Let's do some drawing. Let's do, you know, even the foiling. I got real close, and I did want to mention that real quickly. I played with that a little bit more, and I want to show you basically what worked, and I'll show you right now, because I did the whole video and then I just threw it away because this morning, because I was just so frustrated and I was just like, you have got to be kidding me, and I'll get to that in a minute. But if you are going to use your foil quills, if you're going to put a little piece of washi on there, one layer of washi, don't wrap it up, because then you might do something bad to your machine, right? The clamp is only going to be so tight and you don't want to stress that. But for it to work really well like it did here, I don't know if you can see, it's an example I did for myself, or like this one, I know it's hard to see, but hopefully that one you can see better. It looks weird because they're supposed to be cutting lines in here, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Is that you want to have it, at least for my machine, maybe machines are different, I don't know, we'll talk about that also in a minute. Right where it starts to bevel, right? It starts to bevel, there's a nice line around here, and then it starts beveling from that line, from the edge to where it needs to be dropped down into the clamp, is 1 3/8 inches. That's how it worked for me, and it was great, and it's awesome. If you're using the card mat, you might want to bring it up just a skosh, maybe 1 2/8, which, what is that? I don't know. I would say that should be, I guess, 1/4, but that's not 1/4. Okay, so anyway, actually, let me get my ruler because I don't want to mislead you guys. It's 1 and that's why 3/16. I'm so sorry. 1 3/16. And if not, you're gonna do 1 1/8 if you use the card mat. And I'll talk about the card mat in just a second. I did a whole review of it, and it just did not work. And I was like, this thing looks like it's been on an international safari before it got to me. It took 2 weeks for this to get here because we ordered on the 3rd, right? March 3rd with HSN. I got my joy pretty quickly, but this took a long time. And then what my joy started doing last night is not cutting. And I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. Not that it doesn't want to, that it's like, oh no, it's not going to the machine. It is not cutting through any kind of paper. I don't know if you can see the lines on this, but it's not cut through. It's not cut through. I cut the same flippin' bird. I don't know, a flippin' bird, how many times. This is just basic cardstock. So when I did the review for you guys to try it out, you know, on a card base, on the insert cards, same thing. You can see it's pretty gouged. It's in there. It says congrats. You can see the flowers, but it's not cutting through. So I'm like, okay. What's interesting though is that the design space is working really well. So the lag is gone. That's awesome. It might just be that everybody was, you know, on there doing their thing. And now, you know, when they first got their machines last week, at the beginning of the week, or Cricut updated their servers. I'm looking for the Cricut community because everyone's like, oh, go on there. There's people complaining about the same things you're having issues with or things like that. I'm like, what is going on? Because it's not enough pressure. So basically, right, it's the pressure. So I messed around with the pressure. I've messed around with thicknesses of paper. I've messed around with the card mat, with the regular mat, with all these different, it's not cutting. And I'm like, the last thing I would assume or expect from this thing is to not cut. So I'm like, maybe they updated their servers, or I did a new upload of the software. It was supposedly the same, but maybe something in there got messed up as far as pressure on that particular machine. So in the video that I'm not going to show, I said, oh, maybe it's the calibration. I'll check it. Maybe I can calibrate it and do it again. The only thing they can calibrate on Cricut.com or in their, you know, help and all those things are the large machines. It's literally there in the drop down, calibrate, but you can't select it when you're on Cricut Joy, when you selected Joy as the machine that you're using. So there's nothing to do. It does what it does, and that's it. So Okay, so that's the last thing. So I'm like, okay, that's the end of it. So I am definitely going to return it. I think I gave it a good go, and you guys, I think there was still some good information right there, you know, how to use different things. Even on this one with the card, it's super easy. The card insert, this card thing is easy. All you do is select the one you like, and it goes right to, you can't even manipulate it. It goes right to, it's on the mat, cut it, you know? And so, super easy. You do not have to buy these card inserts. I don't know how much they're going to sell them for it. I know the card mat, which is this little thing, is $5.99, so it's not very expensive anyway. This was 19 bucks on HSN. It was the card mat, 3 packs of the cards with the inserts, and a set of pens that are a little bit thicker. These are just like regular pens. I don't know, black, brown, and gray, 0.4 size. So, I mean, you can buy these things obviously separately. The cards, if you want to make your own card to put on the card mat, when you go to do these different, you know, these drop-in cards like this kind of thing, just cut your card the regular you do. You know, your standard A2 size card, so it's going to be 5.5 by 8.5, folded in half, and then you slide it in here. I'm not going to do the tutorial. It's super easy, and like I said, I haven't deleted the footage, but I'm not going to do anything with it. It's just, why? You know, why waste your time? So super easy, but again, cut your own, and then when you do an insert, all you need is a piece of paper that is cut at 4 by 5.25. You can make your own cards. You don't need to have these inserts. So unless they're inexpensive and they're ready to go, then maybe that's fun for you, especially with the holographic nature of some of them, you know. But I just wanted to get on camera and talk about it, and I wanted to thank everybody who was giving me like ideas. Not so much the people that were like, hey, you don't know what you're doing on, you know, the foiling one. I figured it out, and in the video, as I got to the third one, it was getting closer and closer every time. I just didn't want to do it again because I have very, like, low patience for stuff like that, I guess. I don't know. And so thank you guys, and, you know, in that video for the foil quills, I did have in the link for a lady whose videos in German, and so that's the thing, I didn't understand what she was saying, and I was saying, like, I'm always distracted with my kids. Like, most of the time if I'm watching something, I'm not really watching it. It's either playing in the background, I kind of got the gist of it, I saw that they did something, and I was like, alright, cool, but I guess somebody else had watched it, you know, because I linked it, and they're like, I think she used vinyl, and she said it on something, you know, I don't even know. And then people asked me to check out this other gal's video, and I'll, if it helps you guys, I think her Nancy Stamps, and I've never watched it, and I haven't watched it yet, but what I think is funny, when I looked it up, because I'm like, are other people using the foil quill? I looked up, like, Joy foil quill, and it's just my video, my German gal, and Nancy Stamps, and mine was after the German gal, so, like, you know, and then I guess Nancy did hers a day or two later. I don't know, I'm assuming that's her name, just like VianneyCreates is Vianney, right? So, and then she got it going, is what people were saying, so check that out. I am done with the Joy game. You know, I'll wait and see. Maybe it'll drop in price, and maybe it'll be worth it to me to get another one. But right now, I'm like, what is going on? So that's why I was trying to get in the communities to see, why is it not cutting all the way through? And it does not matter the thickness, the mat, I've tried so many different ways. So I'm so done. And like, seriously, I mean, I have, well, there's another foil that worked out real well. So that's kind of why I was like, well, it's worth showing that, but I'm just not going to go into it anymore. But thank you guys so much. I don't even know where to go from here today because my kids are awake now. I want to do some review stuff. I know, as it is right now, everything's hectic, right? The kids are home, they're going to be home for a month. And that's great. I'd rather be safe than sorry. And especially with, obviously, COVID-19 is what everyone's talking about and wary of. Just be careful out there, guys. I mean, to me, just practice good hygiene. These kids have been in the house since they got home from school on Friday. So, like, they can go outside. It's been raining out here in Southern California really badly. And the last couple days, it's just been overcast and some rain. And but, you know, for me, I go out to the store. I haven't been avoiding, like, big stores. I've been going to, like, local markets, like my Mexican market or Mediterranean market. They have everything. People aren't picking it through like everywhere else. It's crazy. So I go there. And I always just, you know, get my hand sanitizer when I get in the car before I touch a bunch of stuff. When I get home, before I put my groceries away, I always wash my hands. I've always been that way, like forever. And I'm really like anal about, if I buy milk, I'm going home. If I buy something cold, I'm going straight home because I do not like leaving cold things getting warm out. Even if it's still cold out, I don't care. I'm going home and I'm putting it away. So I always wash my hands and then I touch everything because I'm not going to touch my fridge, touch my, you know, everything the kids are going to touch. And this is before this, right? This has just been me the way I do it. Anyway, so just be careful. You know, I know it's going to be a struggle getting used to all these different changes right now, especially with kids being home, and my heart goes out to people who have to get childcare all of a sudden or whatever they have to do. And thank you so much for the childcare workers that I've heard from already on here. So you guys are awesome and do great work. I always say my bachelor's degree is in child development and my master's degree is in counseling. So like that's been a passion of mine since a long time ago. Actually, I was a biology major first and then I switched over to child development when I was going to have Diego. But anyway, and then I got on camera also because you guys are always commenting on this sweater. I guess you see the sleeves in videos and you guys are always like, oh, I love your sweater. I love your sweater. And then I say, oh yeah, it's from Lucky brand and it's like a moto jacket. I don't know if you can tell. It's like a motorcycle jacket. So it's kind of interesting because it's like material, like a, what's the word? Like a woven material, right? But in a motorcycle jacket form. I love this jacket. I love it so much. And then on the inside it's nice and like regular like t-shirt material. I don't know. It just feels good. And then I let my hair down because I never leave my hair down. And it's super long now, you guys. It's ridiculous long. My husband's going to be like, where are you going when he gets home? But I'll probably have put it up by then. But, and maybe you won't notice that I'm not wearing too much makeup. But anyway, the hair is distracting. But I do appreciate your guys' views, your guys' comments, everything. It's been great. I'm, you know, too bad this thing is a disaster for me. So I do want to hear from you guys. I know a lot of you guys say, hey, I love it. You know, if I'm going to do it, I'll just bring out my Cricuts, my regular machines, and use them here and there. Maybe I'll make a space for one of them just to feel like I'll actually do that. But thanks for watching, guys. And again, a lot of it is user error. I feel like for me, the design space wasn't so much user error. It was more the lagging. So that's been taken care of, it seems like. So now it's just that it's not going to cut. So I'm like, okay, I think I'm done. I'm so done. So thanks for watching, guys. I think I want to talk about some other things, but I totally forgot already. Just housekeeping stuff. So yeah, so maybe I'll get to more reviews. I want to do more Garden of Love stuff because there's so much in that kit. It's crazy. And just stay safe and healthy out there, guys, and be encouraging and kind to each other and, you know, help people out. I know they're saying, you know, if you have an elderly neighbor, somebody that you can help out that, you know, shouldn't go out. But of course you want to make sure you haven't really been exposed yourself either. So be careful with yourself, your kids, your family, your neighbors, and we'll get through this. So I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye now.